Hey guys, Michelle here from Michelle Creations. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today's tutorial, I wanted to show you a sublimation tumbler 20 ounce process. I'm going to be using an image that I obtained off of Creative Fabrica, which I'll put a link down below if you're interested in it, as well as the tumblers I'm using I purchased off of Amazon. And I'm just gonna put it together and show you my process. I already have my tumbler press heated up for 375 degrees, and we are going to do 50 seconds, rotate it 180 degrees, and do another 50 seconds. So before I started this video, I did a little prep work, mainly because since I've never used these tumblers before, I wasn't really sure on the size. So what I typically do when I'm trying to figure that out is I will use my regular printer. As you can see, it's just a black and white printer, so I'm not using a lot of ink in the sense of color. And I try to get it, since it's a wrapped seamless image, to match up. So that way, when we meet in the center, it is exactly that. So I've never done one of these before, so we're gonna do this together for my first time. First thing you want to do once you figured out your measurements, as you can see, I finally printed it out in the sublimation ink color that we need. We are going to prep the tumbler. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove all of the stuff you do not want heated. Definitely make sure you check on the inside. This manufacturer did put the bottoms, the rubber bottoms that you can attach to the bottom of your tumbler inside. So we definitely don't want to heat that up. So we just put that aside for now. One of the things I do like to do is you can do one of two things. You can either lint roll your tumbler or you can use an alcohol swab. So I like to use that. Kind of gets all the stuff off of it, as we can't see all the particles. And then once we're done with that, we are going to wrap the tumbler. Now what I have here off to the side is a well, they're now called 143vinyl.com, but it's like a squeegee that you use for vinyl. And so what I like to do is I sometimes will use that so that my tumbler doesn't roll off my table, because you know it is a cylinder. So I'll put that and place it in the middle here, so it gives me some stationary options. So I think we got that, and it's not that dirty, which is a good thing. So we're just gonna let that dry for a second, and while that dries, we are going to trim this down. So when I was doing my test runs, and again, this is my preference, I was using a trimmer. And so what I was finding out was sometimes I wasn't gauging the right cut and I was taking too much of it off. So I figured this time around I am going to be using scissors, and I felt like this time it would be a more controlled option by choosing the cut that I would need to make, and again taking my time, because I definitely want to have it where the lines meet up. And from all the tutorials I have been watching from other people, that is definitely key. The other thing you do want to have on hand is some heat resistant tape. I do know that it comes in many forms of colors, but you definitely want to make sure that it's heat resistant. There are people that use other forms of tape to do this. I have seen people use, I think it's the painter's tape. I've never tried it, but definitely use what works for you. If this is your first time doing sublimation with tumblers, definitely you're gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna get frustrated. Sometimes walking away and coming back to a project, look at that, I did cut off some of the image, I just noticed that. Sometimes walking away from something and coming back to it sometimes clears your head and makes you see whatever little tiny error you may have made that could fix the issue. And I think I did the same thing. Yep. So much for making sure I did not cut any of the image off. Okay, we're almost done with this. I will say this is the second time I've used this heat press tumbler, and it does smell. So definitely, if you have one of these, let me know, but I am going to definitely leave my window open and a fan on in the room. So we're gonna go ahead. I don't think it matters which way it goes because there's no wording on the image. I like to have the star at the top of the cup, so I'm definitely gonna make sure that that's where I place it. So as you can see, we're just gonna lay it down, and then we are going to line it up. And we definitely wanna make sure we get a tight fit. Right? And you can kind of see the image come through the paper. Another thing I like to do is make sure it's there really good. So I feel like I'm gonna have a line, and that's what I didn't want. That's, I think, the trick when you're working with a seamless design is getting the measurement perfect and also making sure that it lines up right. All right. All right, I am getting air bubbles. So another thing I have seen people do, and let's try this, is they will go and put the tape on that side, hold it down, and then they will pull it as tight as possible to connect. But I can see that it's off slightly. So now I need to, it's very tricky. Maybe I should do it like this and pull. I still got it off. Off alignment. All right, guys, bear with me. You know what? Let's do a different one. Let's do the one at the bottom. Maybe that's my problem. But I really think it's because I probably just trimmed too much of it off. So if it doesn't work, we'll just have to come back and print another one. All right, so let's go this way so it's on the bottom. And we are going to, and I know you guys can't see, so I do apologize. Okay, I think I got it. So now we're gonna come to this side. Let's just get a new piece of tape. Or should we do the middle? Okay. I think it's like right there. It just like doesn't want to meet the right way. You know, I love watching the YouTubers when they do this so perfectly. They must have done it a million times. Okay. I think it's slightly off, but I think it's okay. So let's go and get all these pieces in the center because we definitely don't want any pockets. And I think I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pull to make sure I get that really good. Again, we're gonna do it again. So it was definitely a challenge, as you saw, to get it going, but I feel like once you get it going, it works. Again, we're just gonna pull. And the last couple of times I've done tumblers was through a convection oven, and I definitely wanted to try something different, so I purchased a heat press. Okay, just making sure it looks good. All right, so here are all the things where they say to make sure you don't have any air bubbles. So let's make sure that we don't have any here. Just going the same format. Not sure if I'm really doing anything there, but we're just gonna hope and pray that that's actually doing something. Okay, so that looks good. So now we're gonna do the edges. Let's see how fast we can do this, because I just made this go. Oh, almost. And so once we put it there, we're gonna bring it in and bring it in. And again, this is just to prevent from the air pockets to separate the paper. We don't want any air to get in there. Another thing that people like to use in convection ovens are the rubber bands. They are silicone based, and you can also find those on Amazon. I have some that I used to use with my convection oven, so I will definitely link that below if you're interested. Again, I'm not affiliated with anything. I just like to inform you guys of things I come across. So let's again push this down, and I really hope this comes out because it looks so pretty. So I'm just pushing it down with as much pressure as I can. And what I'm worried about is like that little bubble right there. So I hope that does not come through. All right, so let's go and head over to the tumbler press and see how this baby does. Okay, so we're over here at my tumbler press. I'm definitely gonna put on some gloves because this machine is very hot or warm to the surface because it's at 375 degrees. And we're going to do 50 seconds and then turn it, and then 50 more seconds. So again, I am going to place it inside. I've already checked to make sure that it's gonna be a good snug. I really hope it comes out. I know I've said that a million times, but when you're excited about something, you're like anxious. So definitely let me know if this is a tumbler that you have, or not a tumbler, tumbler press that you've used. Definitely would love to know your thoughts, how it's worked for you. I do plan on making a few more other things. So we have 13 more seconds, and then we're going to lift it up and then rotate. So it's something we always have to make sure is where we're rotating it on. So hopefully I can pinpoint that. feel like I might have it a little bit too tight. So what I have getting ready and prepped on my desk is going to be a heating pad, because this is going to come out really hot. And so we're going to move it over there to definitely let it cool off just a few minutes. And then we're going to go and reveal it. So I'm really excited. So I will go catch you at the table once this is done in the next 20 seconds. All right guys, so we're over here back at the table. The 20 seconds came up and I took it out. And one thing I have noticed in the past whenever I do sublimation tumblers is that when the image comes through your paper and makes it a little bit more vibrant, as you can see here, that's a good sign. That means the ink was infused from the heat. So we're gonna go ahead and rip off the paper and pray to God that the scene came out good. So let's take a look. So what I like to use is a little pokey tool. Definitely want to make sure you're not putting the instrument onto it, because it's very sharp and then you're gonna mess up your design. So let's see how this comes out. The big reveal. Okay. I think it came out really good. Definitely amazing for my first time. Definitely would love to know what you think. I don't see any issues at the top. I mean, maybe a slight, the only because I know where it's white there, as we can see that, like very, very faint, tiny little trim compared to this side. And then at the bottom, I didn't get any of the ghosting. The only thing I can say is you can definitely tell where my seam is, because I know where it's at. As you can see, you can definitely see how it didn't line up the best way possible, but it's not completely really bad. So I definitely love it. This is actually going to be going into a raffle that I'm doing at my local restaurant here for a 4th of July celebration, and so I am going to be putting this, and hopefully one lucky winner wins this along with the other goodies in my basket. So thank you guys for taking the time to watch my channel. I know I had a little struggle there in the beginning, but I did it all in real time, so you can see. As you can tell, this video isn't too long, so doing one tumbler until you get the hang of it was doable in my mind. I'm pretty sure if I do more of these, I will get it down pat, and I probably won't have that long of a struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time again to watch my channel. I look forward to seeing you make comments and hitting that like button on future videos, and you have a fantastic day. Take care.